Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ryan Frost with FitnessHabits.com, and you're watching the Beginner's Guide to Nutrition. We're gonna need to go ahead and get out these lists that you made in step number 1, because we are on macronutrients, the holy grail, the goal orientation part of your exercise, of your nutrition program. If you followed step number 1 and step number 2, likely you're gonna be looking like this very soon. This is how to get your six pack there even faster and keep it there forever. Let's start with protein. Now, the source of your protein is going to matter. We talked about this in step number 1. Another compelling argument to measure where you should be getting your protein from, whether being vegetarian or being a meatitarian is more beneficial. The most compelling argument that I've seen is based on your autonomic nervous system. And instead of going into depth on this, I'm just going to put a good article below so you can look into that a little more. The next thing we need to mention about protein is how much of it do you need every day. Anywhere between 0.6 grams and 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. We're going to talk about proportions a little more, but this is going to be based on your goal. Pretty much if you're super high calorie trying to gain weight, you're going to need a little less protein, and if you're trying to cut weight, you're going to need a little bit more protein to keep your body muscle sparing. The cool thing about protein is that 25% of the calories that you get from it go directly into digesting it, which is pretty cool. Unlike fats and carbs, which can absorb pretty easily and actually turn into fat if you eat them in excess. Doesn't happen too much with protein. Next one is fats. Omega-3s, 6s, and 9s. You get plenty of 6s and 9s from poly and monounsaturated fats, which are good energy sources. Great. And your body can also make 6s and 9s to a certain extent. What most people fall short in is the dietary fat, omega-3 fatty acids. These are important to supplement because these are the ones that are directly responsible for actually taking your fat cells and exporting it out of your body at night while you sleep. So in order to keep a proper body composition, you need a balance of all these. Best way to supplement these is either fish oil, which by the way, if you look on the back of the label that you're gonna look at the EPA and DHA, make sure it's listed separately and make sure it's at least 200 plus milligrams of each one. You can get things like flaxseed oil or chia seed, which also contain ALA, which your body can convert into omega-3, but only to a certain extent. So again, try different supplements, get plenty of omega-3 fatty acids in, and you will see a difference. Saturated fats and trans fats. Trans fats, those are man-made crap. Don't eat them ever. Saturated fats are good for hormone production and necessary for proper cellular function. And it's also been shown to increase your testosterone levels the more you eat them, which is great if that's actually enough to make a significant difference. We don't know, but it's a step in the right direction for sure. They're gonna keep you well lubricated, and they're gonna just make you feel good and give you a nice flow of energy if you're eating the right sources for you. So pay attention. Next thing is carbs. The only two things you gotta pay attention with carbs is where they fall on the glycemic index scale. Now, as humans, we operate best in a slightly alkaline state, about a 7.2 on the pH scale. So eating mostly alkaline foods that are not insulin spiking is going to make us feel very good, and it's going to keep our immune system and our cellular functions very healthy. This is where we want to live. So you want to eat mostly foods that aren't insulin spiking. However, insulin spikes do have a benefit when you're trying to put on muscle, especially if you're younger. So put your carb intake, especially insulin spiking ones, either post-workout or pre-workout for extra energy and extra pump in the gym. The next thing we have to talk about is fiber. Fiber, your body doesn't break down fiber, but rather uses it to help digest food and its roughage to keep things going. So you need plenty of fiber, between 30 and 45 grams a day, especially if you're in a moderate to high protein diet. Now, we're done with this, we're done with this, we're done with this. Let's talk about proportions. Tell me, why is it that we have the ketogenic diet that says super high fat, moderate protein, no carbs? We have the Mediterranean diet that says equal proportions of each one. We have the Atkins diet, moderate protein, moderate fat, low carb. We have the paleo diet, high protein, moderate fat, low, no carb, ever. What's the point here? Which one actually works the best? Why are all these things marketed as to work for everyone? Well, the answer is that they're just marketable. If somebody comes along and they say, hey, I got the solution for everybody, they can sell a book or two on it and it's great. But in actuality, We come from all over different parts of the world. We're all mixed and bred together. And to say that we all work best on the same diet is a nonsense. So every person needs to be treated as an individual case. How are we gonna do this? First, you need to find your consistent amount of protein. You're gonna go to this link over here. This is your macronutrient calculator. You're gonna figure out how many calories you need a day, and you're gonna play around with the toggle switches at the bottom for what percentage of those calories is coming from proteins, fats, and carbs. You're gonna find the right range of protein for you and your goal. Between 0.6 and 1.2 grams a pound of body weight is gonna be fine. You're gonna do just fine. Next thing, you gotta play with fats and carbs. You're eating the same protein all the time, whether you're bulking or gaining, adjusted a little bit based on your goals, but realistically, these two are gonna be the ones you're playing around with to see which one you feel best. If you start off getting most of your calories from fats, see how you feel. Do that for a week, 2 days, whatever. Next, start getting most of your calories from carbs. See how you feel. Control your insulin spikes throughout the day. Pay attention to your daily energy levels. When do you feel the most awake and when do you feel the most tired? Pay attention to this. Take notes if you have to. Write it down each week and reflect on it consistently, and you will find a right range for you. Read some articles, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to how other people are feeling, and you will find your right range, especially if you're a goal-oriented person. Now, track these for about 2 to 3 weeks, and eventually you're gonna get a good idea of what's in all the foods that you're eating. And if you wanna know how to find out how much protein, fats, and carbs are in each of your foods, just go to myfitnesspal.com. You can type in any food anywhere and it'll tell you exactly how much is in there, and it'll count it up for you. Super easy, play with the numbers. After about 3 weeks, you're gonna understand what you're eating in each meal, and you're not gonna have to think about it. You're just gonna know what's in each thing, and you're gonna develop a type of instinctual dieting, if you will. This is the goal, because first we make it simple, then we make it habitual. So you don't gotta think about it, and you get your gains for life. That's step number 3, macronutrients. Up next, we're going grocery shopping. We're gonna show you how to look at a grocery label, and we're gonna talk a little bit about ingredients. We'll see you on the next one. Till then, I'm Ryan Frost saying, make it a habit.